Hello, everyone. Welcome back to E20 Zone TV on this Thursday evening. To my right, which is there, is Mitchell. Lucas should be along shortly, and we're here to discuss Mads Hermansen's £18 million move to West Ham and John Victor, the victim of David Sullivan. Mitch, how you doing, man?
Not too bad, mate. Not too bad, thank you.
Yeah, all good in the hood,
Yeah.
right?
How about you, mate? You good?
I'm all right, but I'm going to say this. Yeah, there's some deluded fuckers amongst us, and I am going to expose it all tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Right, let's get into this. Right, let's get into this. 48 hours ago, it comes out that basically that we're in for John Victor and Hermansen's nowhere to be seen, and then all of a sudden, a leak comes out that Carl McCauley is trying his hardest to get this deal done because the money. Yet again, it all goes back to money. I'm going to ask you something, Mitch. Is it acceptable right now the way he's being treated, John Victor? That's all I'm going to say.
If I was earning the money he was earning, I wouldn't give a fuck.
Yeah, but sometimes you've got to look at the moral side of things.
The thing is, I think we've been fucked around so much as a club with players and lowballing bids and getting charged ridiculous prices for players, and other clubs doing dodgy ways of getting prices down for players. So I get it. It isn't right. I agree. It probably isn't right. Isn't fair. If he's on the flight and all his family are ready to move and he's been told he's got no future at the club,
he was waiting at the airport, Mitch.
I agree. Yeah, if that's a fact and he's been waiting with his family at the airport, then yeah, that's not fair.
And what it is, I'm going to say this. I'll see something that Central put up, right? Saying about he rejected the move to stay in Brazil. That's all media spill. 100%. I swear on my life that is media spill.
What? Say it again, sorry?
What it is, apparently the media in Brazil have turned around and said that he rejected West Ham and basically he wanted to stay in Brazil. It's the biggest load of bollocks I've ever heard in my life. It's
the agent literally offered him to us. So how can that be the case?
Yeah, well there you go, right? But the problem is, it's the bait and switch move that we see every single time at this club. Yeah, and it feels like to me, people go, well, every other club does it. Who gives a fuck about every other club? Because I'll tell you what, you need to get out more if you worry about every other fucking club. Do you know what I'm saying?
I do get both sides though, James, where people do say that because we do get fucked around in a business sense by other Premier League clubs for prices and dodgy deals, tapping up. Like Haller, for example, when he was tapped up for ages before he left to go to Ajax for ages and he was talking to the club. Like, we do get some fucking shit from other clubs as well.
Yeah, but you can't moan about players not wanting to come to this club. And then when we treat players like that, they ain't going to want to come here.
It'd be different if he was our first choice and we was mucking about with him and we told him no in the end, and we told him that, oh, you're our number one target, we're going to try and do everything in our power to get you. It wasn't that case. His agent did come to us.
Right.
So that is where you kind of balance out a little bit, in my opinion. I do agree with you. The moral aspect ain't fair, but the fact it did come to us as well does come into play slightly, in my opinion.
I disagree. I completely disagree on it, because what it is, Willie McKay, I think his name is, or Mackay, or whatever his fucking name is the agent who was negotiating the deal. Yet again, it was led by Sullivan. Like, the deal with John Victor was led by Sullivan, yeah? And basically, he has put a shame on us because he can't do deals properly. Let's get it right here. I'll say this to everyone.
If he's done this, he's saved loads of money and got our number one target.
He's got the number one target, but should he have to do all this shit to fucking do it?
Unfortunately, it's worked.
I disagree.
We've got maybe what, 5 million knocked off of what we would have paid otherwise for him by the other day trying to get John Victor in, supposedly.
Right. The other day, right, John Victor gets mentioned from nowhere. Absolutely nowhere, right? Comes up out of thin air, hasn't been linked all summer. I called it straight away. I said, this is a bait and switch move straight away, what he's doing here, right? He goes in there, he agrees terms. This geezer's life was about to change, because he's over in Brazil and he's about to come to the Premier League, which is the biggest league in the world. to then leave him at the fucking airport and mug him completely off, and then say the deal's off because you've got the man that you really wanted to do.
How do you know he's at the airport? If he's at the airport, then it's
come out basically that he was at the airport, and what it was, it was basically.
Cheers, Dad.
Yeah, I'll get to that now.
Sorry, mate. Sorry.
Emma's dad, thank you very much, mate. Last man standing. Join the last man standing. I'll talk about that at the end. Right. So what I'm saying is, Mitch, is that you're about to come to the Premier League. Sullivan sold you the fucking dream, like he sold all of us about the dream about the LS and everything fucking else. And then all of a sudden you leave the geezer hanging at the airport. I think that's disgusting.
The thing is, it's not Sullivan's job to sell the player of the dream. If it's down to the manager to negotiate how you're going to fit into the squad and say how you could be implemented. Sullivan's got no right to say anything like that.
No, because what it is Sullivan can't negotiate deals. This is the problem. Sullivan can't negotiate deals. He either lowballs a club, or he has to go and try and get a load of different fucking targets and make it like a smoke screen and fucking say, well, if you don't lower it to that level, we're going to go for that player. Like
it's not a right way of doing business.
That's his MO all the time, mate. It happens all the time.
But in this case, he has saved money. So from the moral aspect, yeah, it's not right. But from the business aspect, you've got the number one target, or supposedly one of the number one targets.
He is the number one target. He's. We will speak about Mads Hermansen in a minute, yeah. But he was always the number one target. The problem was Sullivan wasn't prepared to go to the fee that they wanted, and he needed to get the fee down. So what he's done, he's and this is mad what I'm about to say, if I'm being truthfully honest. He got all the way to fucking Brazil, right? Got hold of a player, agreed terms, told him that to go to the fucking airport, and then left the cunt at the airport. Like, that is just, I'm not being funny enough. I think you'd have to be one heartless bastard. Like, literally, one heartless cunt, if you think that's fucking acceptable. Listen, whether you like John Victor or not is irrelevant in this, yeah? When I looked at the clips, I thought, fuck me, what are we signing here, right? It's not the player, it's the MO of what he's done to go around it. I think it's disgusting. And you know what? Carl McCauley, right, fair play to him. Because I believe, yeah, this is only my opinion, because it seems like people fucking keep coming at me for some reason today.
You're saying that if it's gospel, not opinion. That's why.
I'm saying that I've seen the fucking bait and switch move too many times, mate. It happens too many times, and with that prick Sullivan, it never changes.
So many fucking dodgy clubs in this league have done similar shit.
Yeah, I understand that, Mitch. I do. Right, I understand when people say, "Yeah, it happens in football." Fine.
And at a time where we have limited funds as well.
Yeah, but I get
it.
Yeah, but do you have to drag it out, right? And make the geezer go to the fucking airport and actually sit there and wait for a plane?
It's not fair, but he's going back home to his fucking lovely villa he's going to have out in Brazil.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, it's like me saying to you, go to Heathrow Airport, right? I'm going to take you to fucking Vegas, and then you go there, and it ain't going to happen. Do you know what I'm saying? And you're going to be pissed off. Like, so.
But he still gets to go back to his club where he's earning tens of £1,000s a week.
I understand that, right? And I get that totally. The only thing I will say is, how does that make West Ham look? How does that make West Ham look?
It's not a great look, but I don't think other players will look at it in the future. Like, other players will look to sign and go, "Oh my God, look at John Victor who's at the airport." I don't think other players will be knowing all that.
No, listen, right, give it a few days, it'll all be forgotten about, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And it will all be forgotten about. I can understand that, but I just feel like the bait and switch move that he pulls every fucking time, and then what it is, people look at it from a business aspect. Fine, yeah. No disrespect, the business is good. Right, to get it for 18 million, I think it is. Or I think I read it's 16.5 million, and it goes up to 18 million. Right, it's fair enough. You can't knock the business aspect, but the moral aspect of this, I just think, is totally immoral. It's just totally immoral, and I just think it's just disrespectful to the player, right? That he played himself, the club that he represents, and also it looks at us and all. I'm going to say that. Look at us in this, because it makes us look like a fucking bunch of fucking pricks. Do you know what I mean? And what it is, this is why Sullivan burns bridges with clubs all the time. It really does. Right, what do you make of Mr. Mads Hermansen? Are you happy?
I am happy. Yeah, I do think he's a very good all-round keeper. Leicester fans are fuming that they've got the money that they've got for him. They all saying all over Twitter that they could have got an extra 10 million.
Yeah,
That some of them saying he's worth double what we paid for him. So it's good signs. I've heard things that he had a bit of a poor end to the season, but I like his game. Even though he's quite small, and he's not the best claimer of crosses from what I've looked into. I like his profile. I like the fact that he's very different to Areola in terms of he's good in the ball. He looks to try and, from what I've seen as well, he looks to try and catch every shot that comes at him instead of parrying it. He looks a lot more confident in his goal than Areola. I think Areola can be erratic, very erratic sometimes. I don't feel comfortable with Areola in net. So having someone that's got more all-round qualities at the age he is and the price he is, it's a very good price in my opinion.
It's a good price, don't get me wrong. I'm happy with the player. I think this has been lined up for a while. When you look at the coaching staff that have been coming in, it sort of made sense who they was going for in Hermansen. I haven't really seen much of this kid, but what I've seen, he looks like he could have a lot of potential. I will say that. Yeah. The only thing I'm going to say before I get to the chat, and if anyone wants to come on, they can come on with us tonight.
Well, with this keeper as well, you could be looking at a keeper that could be our keeper for the next 10 years, possibly.
Yeah.
Like the potential's there.
Right. Do you think he starts?
First game of the season?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because the reason why...
maybe second game onwards.
Yeah. Because the reason why I say this is when I looked at John Victor, I looked at a backup option. I don't look at Mads Hermansen as a backup option. I look at him as a first...
He should be starting straight away. Yeah. But I think I do understand just chuck him straight into the deep end first game with a new team. You know, he'll be signing over the weekend as well. We have a week to train.
Yeah.
You know, if we had Wes Foderingham as a backup, then yeah, he'd go in straight away. But Areola can still do a decent job, I think, against Sunderland. We shouldn't look to, be dominated against them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're not great in the air, which I think Areola can cope with as well. Yeah, I think I wouldn't mind seeing Areola start. I mean, I personally wouldn't, but I get Hermansen having to wait a week or two before starting.
Yeah, I hear you, mate. I hear you. Right, let's get James in because he come on the other day. Let's see what he's got to say. James, how you doing, man?
Lucas? I'm
doing good, mate. I just, you know what? I don't want to bring a downer on bringing in a new player, right? Because obviously this young goalkeeper looks pretty good and stuff like that. But the actual scumbaggery that we have used, I don't want to disagree with you, Mitch, because I listen to you quite a lot when you're on this show, and I like a lot of the stuff you say. But it is not a good look for a club when we've done this kind of shit before. And David Sullivan is absolutely the worst kind of person, and he gets this shit done, and all it does is make the club look bad, for everybody. It ain't just about the people that own the club, the supporters, everybody looks bad because David Sullivan wants to piss around and that. And I don't know, how much truth is in leaving this guy at the airport or not. I weren't at the airport in Brazil, so I can't say whether that's true. But if you do something like that, listen, if you was like an electrician and someone promised you a job and they said to you, be here at 7 o'clock in the morning, and you go there and you sit there for an hour and then you start phoning up and going, well, where are you? And they go, oh, sorry, we employed a Latvian fucking electrician. He was 50 quid cheaper than you. Sorry, mate, you'd be pissed off. So you can understand, where the guy's coming from. It's not really a nice thing to do. And it is a typical thing. I've been listening to people all week, and they're all talking, and all I keep hearing is, oh, this ITK said this ITK said that, and they're all of these ITKs all get their information from the same people. People keep saying the senior source. Everyone, why don't they just say it's David Sullivan? Why don't they just say David Sullivan said this? And then you can at least point at him and go, well, you're a bullshitter, Sullivan. But instead of that, they go, oh, the senior source. Who's the senior source? Heinz senior source? Who is it?
I completely agree, right? I'm going to let Mitch sort of come back on what you've just said. But listen, I understand business, right? I do. I understand what you've got to do in business to get the deal done. I just think it's immoral, really, right, in this regard, because he's literally fucking thrown the geezer out there and literally mugged him off to the world. He even followed West Ham United, Lucas Paqueta, on social media, and then apparently he's fucking unfollowed everyone. So it's just sort of mugged him off. And I just feel, for me, I'm a bit old school. Yeah, you have respect for things. Do you know what I mean? Some things are acceptable. Yeah, in business, I sort of get that. This situation right now, I think it's a good deal for West Ham, but I think we've made ourselves look bad to the public. And that's it, really.
No, don't get me wrong. It's a fantastic deal for West Ham because the goalkeeper's supposed to be good and it's who he was going after. But the problem with that is like I said, when you hang somebody else out to dry, it just leaves a nasty taste in the mouth, and it will make other clubs sit there and go, should we do business with these people in future? You know, you're always going to have that, because if it was me and like I was, you know, the owner of whoever, Sheffield Wednesday, and you had a wonder kid there, like I'd be going like, don't even bother with that club. Don't even bother with them.
I think it will get brushed under the carpet, though. I don't think any clubs will remember this.
Yeah, what it is, right? At the moment, you can listen. You've all got your own opinions and your own mind, right? But at the moment, since the invention of the internet, there is a thirst for knowledge like there's never been. People demand to know everything that's going on in a club. They want to know who cleans the toilets, who makes the fucking sandwiches, you know, all that kind of stuff. And you sit there and you think to yourself, sometimes it's just too much. Like, why don't people just, like, you know, obviously, look, people have got to make shows and things like that. But if you listen to, I don't want to name the channel, but if you listen to one certain channel, everyone's sort of had a go at this guy because he said, "Oh, we've had like 200 and odd links to different players, and they mention every single link, and it could be some Albanian guy who no one's ever heard of, and people are sitting there, and it never happens, and people sit there scratching their head going, why didn't we sign him? Why didn't we? Was never in for him in the first place, but it's being reported on in a manner that you're in for everybody, and it's the same as who's the kid from Liverpool who everyone was going, oh yeah, for 50
Elliot.
million. I can't think of his name.
Harvey Elliott.
Harvey Elliott.
Harvey Elliott. Everyone's going, oh, you should be in for him, and he like. And the thing is, we ain't even got 50 million quid to spend on Harvey Elliott. We'd have to get like 2 or 3 more players out the door. Who do you want to lose? Paqueta? Like, I think this year. Again, it's just my opinion. Other people might think different. I think this year you'll get a lot more out of Paqueta because he ain't got that black cloud hanging over him. You know, like in the last couple of years, he ain't really been like. When you think, what did we pay for him? 50 million, I believe. Like he ain't even looked like a 12 million pound player for the last 2 years. And I like him. I really love Paqueta, but he's had this over him, and it's like.
The only thing I'm going to say, James, the only thing I'm going to say is that, listen, I can accept deals falling apart. I can accept that because that's part of life. I just think the way this one's been handled is bad. The issue now is with Sullivan is he's got to deliver on this midfield. Simple as that now. There is no more fucking excuses. I don't want to hear no one saying if now. It's now you've got to demand it. You got to demand them fucking midfield, because the only way you get through to this fucker is if you demand change, right? You ain't going to do anything else, and I don't think he's going to attack that midfield as much as we all think. I really don't, because it would have been sorted by now. Mitch, come on. Even you said this at the end of last season. I asked you a question. And I said, what do you think is the main area that you need to change? And you said midfield straight away. It's now August the fucking 7th, and he hasn't changed the midfield at all.
I think now, though, it's going to happen. I think towards the end of the window, one or two midfielders will go, Andy Irving, Alvarez or Guido Rodriguez. Maybe one or two of them three will go.
Yeah.
Lewis Orford might go out on loan. And then hopefully you'll see some midfielders come in. Because I think we all know one midfielder is going to come in at least. As much as we despise Sullivan, I think we all know deep down that one midfielder at least is going to come in. Obviously, depending on who he is, will depend on how good a signing they are.
Do you know what I think?
Do you know what I think? Fucking names out there.
Yeah. Do you know what I think? Before I let James go, I'll say this. What I think it's 1-on-1. I think it's one permanent and it's one loan or three. That's what I think's coming.
Well, that would make sense financial wise.
Let me say this before I bugger off. Right, I believe that the reason that there ain't been the influx of signings that everybody wants is simply because David Sullivan does not want to start paying wages to players in June and July. Because if you sign a player who's on $100,000 a week in the first week in June when the transfer window opens, you've given him over £1 million in wages before he's kicked a ball for the club in anger, right? So what they do is they sling all these names out there, and that's everyone like has a feeding frenzy on all the names, and then you get into August and like what are we on the 7th, 8th of August, whatever. And now all of a sudden you might see a player come in. And I do believe you're right, James. I think that what will happen is you'll see one permanent come in and one loan deal. And I am hoping that the loan deal is, I'm hoping the permanent ain't Josh Brownhill, that's for certain. Because that's been touted about, you know. Like I say, listen, you cannot, like, in my opinion, you can't really take any notice of the ITKs because what is happening is they're fed their information from Sullivan. I know for a fact that Sean Whetstone was touting Brownhill to everyone who would listen, and people were sitting there, and it dashes the hopes of the fact. Like we live in a situation of peaks and troughs. 1 minute everybody's on a high, the next minute everybody's on a low. It's like sniffing cocaine and then coming down, like, and then you're going like, I need to get some more to get that high again. You know, I'm just saying, it's crazy the way, and we all fall for it. Yeah. We all fall for it all the time. It's not like back in the old days. I don't know whether you'll remember this, James, but back in the old days, we used to have a thing called the free card trick. Find the lady. That's what it's like. We get played. Find the lady. That's exactly what it's like. They play the free card trick with us. And we fall for it because we want to believe like this. It's in the song. Fortune's always hiding. Let's sell them the dream and then let's pop the bubble. Sell them the dream, pop the bubble.
Do you know what, James? I completely agree. Right, I'm gonna have to let you go, mate. Yeah, because I've got other people want to come on, but I appreciate it.
Yeah, no worries. Listen, Mitch, good luck. Hope to see your mum again because I remember when your mum was on. That was fucking hilarious. That was a brilliant day. Yeah, mate. It was.
Bless him.
I'll let him go.
He's a nice geezer, isn't he?
Mitch's mum's famous, mate. Honestly, 100%. Shout out to Mitch's mum. You know what I mean? Right, Brad, welcome. Take it away, mate.
How are we, lads? Good show as always.
All right.
Fucking hell, he made me laugh, that geezer. Hopefully you can hear me all okay.
You're all good.
Good stuff. I mean, fucking hell, where do we start? I mean, the words that's come out is it was a smoke screen. I mean, I know we're talking about the player side here, but let's think about the West Ham side. That is one almighty fucking gamble. Because any normal club, if we're doing a smoke screen, like the last guy said, everything's out in the media. You can push a player out into the media all you like. That doesn't mean you have to go and agree a deal with the fucking club and with the player, get him at the airport waiting, and then say it's a fucking smoke screen to lower the price. Now, look, the gamble's worked. We've got the player that Potter and McCauley wanted, but that is just disgraceful from David
Sullivan. Do you think the
Sullivan.
truth lies somewhere in the middle, though?
What do you reckon, Mitch? What do you think? Obviously, look, we're all speculating. We're going based purely on what the ITKs are coming out and saying, right? But what do you reckon?
I trust. There's only one person I really trust, really, and that's X, what he says. Obviously, people can have their own opinions on X, whatever. But I do believe what he says, like 90% of the time. And putting all his stuff together that he said, I'd probably say, it lies somewhere in the middle, where he would have taken the hit if we could not have negotiated with Suzuki or Hermansen at all to bring the price down. I do believe we would have got John Victor.
But that's fucking awful, Mitch. Because then you've got a goalkeeper that Potter and McCauley don't want.
What it is, Mitch,
it's terrible. It's bad, yeah.
Mitch, I'll just say this quickly, yeah. The reason why I was angry the other day, big time, is because it's the bait and switch move that he does every single fucking time, right? And I'll tell you the reason why I know this is because John Victor hadn't been linked once, not once. This was a move just to say, right, who can we get who's a bit of a name, who's done all right, and they found that geezer in Brazilian goalkeeper, cheap fee, and then what they've done, they've used him, right, which is morally wrong, yeah. The thing is that I don't think there is anything in between this. I think there's two things that's happened in this situation. I think Sullivan would have signed that geezer if the news never come out that McCauley wanted Hermansen, and that come out the other day. It came out 48 hours ago, and it literally was mentioned when John Victor was there. It was like a little bit of a fucking link or leak. Or
I don't think it's true to the news. I don't think it's true to the news coming out.
So well, you tell me that you agreed terms with a Brazilian goalkeeper. Right, you allow all that to happen, and then it comes out that Mads Hermansen and McCauley are trying to, McCauley's trying to push the deal to try and get Hermansen here.
But we don't know what's going on at the club. McCauley might have gone. McCauley and Potter might have personally gone to Sullivan and gone, look, we don't want this keeper. Come on, David. Like we looked into him. We don't want him. Straight up, and then
which is right.
and they've literally just said, look, let's go push for this Hermansen, and then Sullivan might have gone, all right, let's go back for Hermansen. They've lowered their price a bit, and then bang, done. We don't know exactly what's going on.
Hang on a minute. Sorry. Why the fuck is Sullivan going after a player without consulting Potter and McCauley in the first place?
100%. I think it's because the agent has obviously offered himself to us, which is what the news has come out about. Thank you, mate.
Well, then discuss it with Potter and McCauley before you go and agree a deal. Like, you've set this player up, like, the personal side's the personal side. I think it's disgusting how we treat it. And I know you both said we'll forget about this in a couple of days, but this will come back again because I haven't forgotten about William Carvalho. I haven't forgotten about Jack Sullivan coming on Twitter saying, sorry, guys, we didn't want to sign Shamak, but we've got him anyway. I remember that. And this is just another one that's going to stick with me when this happens again, because it will happen again. It's just a case of when, not if.
The thing is, right, just to say this before I let Brad land on anything else he wants to say, is basically, for me, it's morally wrong. It paints West Ham in a bad light, which I think is wrong. I see someone in the chat saying it's double standards. We've done it to clubs. Yeah. But the thing is, David Sullivan's a shit negotiator. We all know it. So he has to go and fuck about and go around the houses to try and get the deal done. It's a good deal for West Ham. Not disputing the deal. Amazing. Yeah. But now he's got to deliver on that midfield. And this is where you're going to really see if this geezer's up for it or not. Because I swear to God, if he fucking dishes up Josh Brownhill and a loanee...
I don't think he will. X said the other day that they've put money to the side for the midfield. And obviously now we've got a bit of money off the goalkeeper. Hopefully we do invest that money.
It's going to be interesting, Mitch.
It will be interesting, yeah. Obviously, it'd be nice if we could get rid of one of them fucking midfielders as soon as possible. But no one's putting any bids in. What the fuck is going on? And Emerson's still here as well.
Because when you've got an owner like ours who wants extortionate money for shit, then, he's going to fucking haggle.
Well, he doesn't really, though, to be fair. Like, I think we've always undersold our players, really. I think he's in the shit negotiating because he's not put them high enough, if I'm being honest. And then it just kind of goes to the end of the window and we just take a cut price on players. We've always done it.
Yeah, I understand that. Brad, anything else you want to say, mate, before I let you go?
Yeah, I mean, look, I understand the West Ham might not be the only club to do things like this, but I do believe we are one of the only clubs, if not the only club, to go to the fucking extent that we do. That's my opinion. I'm not saying that's factual. That's just my opinion, because club owners, I mean, you've got Simon Jordan, who actively talks out on TalkSport about how much he doesn't like David Sullivan. The way that he negotiates players, he doesn't agree with. That's fucking donkeys years ago when Simon Jordan was an owner of Crystal Palace. And that it's just carrying on. We've got another club that's not going to like us. We got Sporting Lisbon, who probably will never deal with us again. Like you're just creating a market where actually over time you're losing trust in certain football clubs. So if we want a player from Botafogo in a year's time, and it's a really good player that the manager does want, how the fuck are we going to enter those negotiations? That's the point that I'm trying to make. It's just really distasteful. And look, when it comes to Hermansen, what I will say, this is the goalkeeper that I've said to you many times, James, was my number one target. He's the man that I wanted because he suits the Potter style. So I'm dead excited about it. And look, on this occasion, the gamble has paid off, right? We've got a much better deal for this player, which is great. But for fuck's sake, can we at least do it in a slightly better way? And let's hope we go and get a midfielder. I agree with you, James. I think we'll probably see Guido and Irving go.
Yeah.
And I think we'll loan one in. And then,
Not Irving playing.
Yeah. I think Andy's going, mate. I think he's going. And I think Guido will go. And then I reckon we'll get one in on loan, and then we'll put a bit of money on another. Who that's going to be, though? I mean, that's going to be the next merry-go-round. You're going to watch fucking 4 players we're going to agree deals for, and then it's a case of, right, they're all travelling to London for their medical, but let's see which one we actually sign on the dotted line.
All I'm going to say on that is this, when it comes to the midfield, they have to deliver. Sullivan has to deliver, and whoever it is, and I do agree with you. Like this, I think we've all known that Hermansen was going to be the guy. Yeah, because just with the way the coaching setup is, and they brought in the ex-coach who coached him at Bromby, I think it was. So it just sort of made sense. Now it's over to them now. Do you know what I'm saying? It's a good business deal, this one for Hermansen. The dignity of it and the way it's been handled, I think, is disrespectful. And listen, it ain't the first time he's done it. Do you know what I mean? Sullivan's done a fucking lot in this window. Let's not forget that. Like going to Spurs, fucking Callum Wilson, and now this. Fucking merry-go-rounds. Do you know what I mean? If this was a one-off, Mitch, I'll just say this to you, Mitch. If this was a one-off, I could accept it. I could go, you know what? You've acted like a cunt. Fair enough. It is what it is. But this happens numerous occasions. Like the bait and switch that he uses consistently and what it is, it's the move he uses when he can't negotiate. He's got no negotiating skills, so he has to go round the fucking houses. I don't think
it's just that though, James. I think it's a case of he negotiates behind the back. He's got an agent that's come to him. Now, I would think any normal person would go, right, they've the agent or the intermediary here has broken up a deal here. Potter and Macaulay, what do you think of this player? And they could have just gone, well, no, honestly, we want to go. We really think we can get a good deal. But look, we could get some stuff out in the media if you want, but don't agree any deal. But that's not what happened. He's got to actually agreed the fucking deal.
True.
It's disgusting.
It's true, mate. It's true. Brad, I'm going to let you go, mate. Thanks for coming on.
Out. That's all I'll say.
Cheers, mate.
Take care, mate. That's
get Damien on. Does Damien want to come on?
Oh, Damien's
got a bit to say.
Yeah, I know. Damien's always got a bit to fucking say.
Come on, Damien.
Mark, how you doing, mate?
How you doing, boys? How you doing, Mitch? All right?
How you doing?
I think the only word that matters here, boys, honestly, is leverage. Like, I sit at this desk where I'm sat talking to you boys every day selling products, and the amount of times I have a client come to me and go, at the 11th hour, oh, we've got somebody else that will sell us a website for cheaper, or they've offered us this monthly, and it's leverage, right? And listen, where I'm with you, something you said, and by the way, Brad's brilliant. I love Brad. It reminds me, I've got a mate, Chapman, and Brad and him, they've like voice. They could be brothers. It's really funny. But yeah, Brad's right. Sullivan out either way. So this ain't, I'm going to sound like I'm defending Sullivan, but let me make something very clear. Football is like what I do times a million. Yeah, because it's on a much higher scale. Footballers, there is no, I wish we lived in a world of loyalty. Noble's going to be one of the last great ones that sticks with a club that could have left at certain points, right? And for a change, we use leverage in our favour, and we had them wanting 25 mil. John Victor, where I feel sorry for him is obviously if he's at the airport, that's a bit shit. Yeah, that's not. But what I'd say is this, and you've got to have a medical. You've got to sign a contract. There's like 4 layers to the cake we didn't even fucking get to. And he's had a little sip of the creme brulee top layer, and we're all feeling sorry for him. And I'm a bit like, well,
I kind of agree. That's just where I agree with him, James, more than you slightly on the other side, because it's not like he's a homeless man, like getting offered the job of his life. Like he's still going to be well off. He's still like, he's all right.
I get what you're saying on that, but he's going to the best league on the planet. Like it's a dream 20 footballer, whether you're in Brazil, Peru, fucking Like, I mean, Argentina, if you're being told that you're potentially going to be coming to a Premier League side, you're going to have the buzz and the enthusiasm to go there. Do you know what I mean? And he's an older goalkeeper and all. Like, I think he's 29 years old. So his career's only going to be coming downwards. Like, he's on the downward slope instead of going on the upwards.
Yeah, but he's also just played in a Club World Cup, and Botafogo did a lot better. We would have had players. You know, when we said this will come from nowhere, one thing I don't think it did is look at what they did signing South American players. Yeah, with Brighton, and they obviously had eyes on that league very closely. I have no doubt we had scouts over in the Club World Cup. Yeah, so obviously John Victor played really well. Apparently he was really good. I didn't watch all of Botafogo's games, but he was apparently very, very, very good goalkeeper, right? So we obviously might have seen the opportunity to get him. Leicester said 25 mil. We've used the kind of, oh, well, I can go negotiate another deal with somebody else. They've realised that maybe they don't have suitors elsewhere. And then they've just come back and gone, look, 18, you get your man. And then we've said yes. Now, where John Victor is between his house and signing a contract and having a medical at West Ham, honestly, it's almost irrelevant. Like, it's a shame he made it to the airport. But if he's 10 minutes from the airport and he gets a phone call, is that okay? Like, where's the line? Do you see what I'm saying? Like,
I know what you're saying.
Contract in place.
I know what you're saying, but I've got to disagree with you, Mark, because he hasn't been linked at all. Like, I've not seen one link of this geezer, John Victor, all summer. Not
Man
one.
United, there was links with Man United. If you go back to they were in for him a lot earlier in the summer when they wanted to replace Onana.
Yeah, right,
so I think we maybe got in on that. We were kind of trying to get a deal because somebody else might still sign him. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I've not seen a link to this geezer at all. Like, not once. Yeah. And the thing is, it was just the reason why I knew it was a bait and switch move is because it comes out of nowhere. It happens every time. It's always a link to a player that no one's heard of, right? It hasn't been linked. X hasn't reported it. I've had X on here. I've had Dave on here. No one's mentioned John.
I think this one is. There's a funny saying, right? A stop clock is right twice a day.
Yeah.
I honestly think, and I'm not just saying this is the time where the bait and switch move that you're talking about, 98% of the time, one, it's bollocks, and two, it doesn't benefit us. Because normally it's bait for someone good and then switch to someone shit. This time we baited for someone slightly worse than the number one target, and ended up with the number one target. So it might just be that David Sullivan, who is, by the way, a very, very stopped clock, he ain't thinking anymore. He don't fucking. But if you look at it twice a day at the right time, it gets something right. And I think this occasion might just be like.
Yeah, but Mark, how does this make West Ham look though? Because I understand the business aspect of it, so it's a good deal. Can't fault the deal. Great, I agree on that. And thank fuck we've actually got a good deal for once, right? But it's how West Ham are looked at now.
Do you know what where perception is, though? It's a funny old game, right? Psychology. And I come back to the point about my job. If someone did that bait and switch on us and said they had somebody else, I guarantee you if a month down the line that website provider couldn't provide what they want or their product didn't work and they come back to us, we'd still sign them up. Because because again, the word we use, if the header of the whole essay is business, everything that comes in that is not personal. Like if you said to me, if I said to you, I said to you, I wanted to get you to a game and you said you ain't gonna fucking come to one, right? If I said I've bought you a ticket, I've got you there, and then at last minute I didn't turn up, as someone who's getting into the channel and getting to know you a bit, that'd be muggy, right? That's on a personal level.
Yeah.
When the overarching thing is business, this stuff happens. And honestly, Brad's right. We would look muggy to Botafogo. But if we go back to him next year and bid for another player and the bid's right and it's the right money for him, they'll still sell them to us because that's how the game works.
Yeah, I'd agree.
And you could argue we've just made a better relationship with Leicester and we might want El Canoes. So who do I care more about? In the grand scheme, a Brazilian club who got like a 1 in 1,000 chance of signing another player, or Leicester, who feasibly we could be doing business with for the next 20 years.
Do you think?
And the agent approached us, not the club. That's the difference as well.
Yeah, but it's agent driven, though, isn't it?
Everything.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Because they get all of that. Because of course it's driven by them.
I know, but it's always giving with fucking Sullivan, not it?
If we went to Botafogo and said we want this player, it's completely different to one of their players coming to us and saying, "Oh, we're offering to you."
Yeah, but do you think though that Sullivan's dangled the carrot for El Canoes with Leicester though?
Correct. I honestly think that might be part of it, and I think that saving the 7 million might be something that's structured towards that. And I would not be surprised if we went right. We'll give you a loan fee for that El Canoes with a guaranteed obligation or something to buy. Because I think one of our deals that we're going to do now, if you work out the finances involved, Sullivan's not going to go and dig into his own pocket. The rumour that he said he would is like, that's classic. I'll quickly
but don't you find though, Mark?
Text Jim White and tell him what to say.
Yeah, but Mark, don't you find that quite insulting? That he's been here for 15 years and this geezer won't invest no money into his club, but he's always loan us out.
I said this to you on a channel though. If you don't press the accelerator when you're in second place about to win the World Championship, you ain't going to fucking do it when you're in 11th place.
Yeah, like saying, yeah.
Because the risk of it's risk reward, isn't it? Everything in his head. If you look at it, you made a point. I definitely think we're getting sold in the next year. And if it's not him selling, it's the gold shares and where they go will have a very, very tangible impact on what happens with the structuring of our club. And whether Kretinsky then goes, do you know what? I've had another year on from buying Royal Mail. I've freed up some assets. Because I think at the moment he sits back and probably thinks, fuck me, why have I picked West Ham to invest in? They're being run by an absolute clown. Yeah. But he's not going to let that money go to waste long term, is he? Because you don't get into business and be as shrewd as that to sort of let someone like Sullivan go and, you know, fuck the pooch basically, because you're gonna lose a lot of money if that happens. So I think it might be we're kicking the can down the road, aren't we? We've done it for the last few years. We had a point switching from Upton Park going into London Stadium where we were pushing on the door of Champions League. I remember that season, obviously the last one at Upton Park, where there was 5 or 6 games, we were a couple of points behind. If you're not going to go and spend money when you're that close to going and unlocking 100 mil revenue, because he'd have been rubbing his hands together surely, and he didn't fucking go for it then. So I just don't think he would do it now.
Before you go, what you expect? What's your expectations for the midfield?
I don't think we'll get someone like Ramsey, because I agree with you. Aston Villa will just say it's this much. We won't get there because that ain't gonna happen. If we ended up, I think they've doubled down on Alvarez. I think there's 2 things that have happened that have been interesting over the summer, right? Alvarez went and had a blinder at the Copa America. Now, call that competition what you want, but there's a lot of good players there that play it for clubs all around the world. He got player of the tournament. Yeah, so he's. I think we are trusting him as kind of the starter. Potts.
Do you trust him?
Injury free, yeah. I'm one of them people. I've played football, not a really high level, but like decent enough, and been coached by decent enough people. That honestly, he's a fucking baller, Alvarez. But he's had a massive injury, and last season we just played him anyway. We just played him through it, and he's a
baller. Really?
Honestly, I think technically, he's really decent on the ball, but he was half a yard off everything. And do you know Premier League level? Do you know Guido, right? Why do we want him to go? Are any of us saying he's a bad footballer, Guido Rodriguez? I ain't heard anyone say he's technically bad. Don't get the Argentina team being technically bad.
He's not technically bad, but he hasn't got the pace to get around the pitch.
There you go. So what happens to him in a Premier League game, and we saw it last year, is you play against a mobile midfield, the ball gets nicked past him, he gets an early yellow, and then he's just a fucking passenger for the rest of the game.
But isn't that the same with Alvarez, though? Because
when he was half a yard off it, yeah, but I don't think he will be.
But I think with Alvarez, he's always got that clumsiness in him to go and get a yellow card.
And his first touch has always been poor, though. Alvarez, he's got a really poor first touch. It just bounces off him a lot of the time.
And do you know what? That actually surprises me, really, that his touch is poor, because considering he was at Ajax, and Ajax is like a football inside. Do you know what I mean? So I can't.
That's why they got rid of him. That's why all the Ajax fans at the time said, we won't get rid of him because he doesn't suit our style of play anymore and what we want to play.
Yeah, I mean, the good thing is we've got Potts, and Potts has saved us a lot of. Look, we were going to need someone in there, and Potts has saved us a lot of money. But there'll still be movement. I think Irving will go. I think Rodriguez will go, and I reckon there'll be a point where we'll have a decision to make on a Souček.
Yeah,
I don't see anyone coming in from Ward-Prowse because I think we give him a long contract at a high wage. So I think that's a problem. And then, then you might see maybe an Alvarez get an offer, and then we go for like a Douglas Luiz. But it will be late. And I'm with you, it should have been early. But I think you said the other day, this deal's happened really quick. And then someone else said, the Malik Diouf deal took a long time. We don't eat from the top table. Let's make something clear. So if we're in for a player from anywhere, they'll wait for another 2-3 weeks to see if a Man United or another big club will come in that we're kind of up against for some of these players. So I think with the youth, there was a big part of it was that. It took longer because they probably were touting him around and going, does anyone fancy making a bigger offer? And obviously, in the end, they didn't. And obviously, we got our man. So we are a little bit. It's like we're kind of waiting on other clubs to fuck up for us to then steal in, which sometimes takes a bit longer. And it's just how it is.
The only thing I'm going to say before I let you go, also another thing is Josh Brownhill keeps getting mentioned. Seriously keeps getting mentioned.
Fuck that.
I don't even know how to react to this one. If someone said to me right now, you take Guido out, you put Brownhill in, yeah, cool, whatever. Do you know what I mean?
You have to sign someone else as well. You have to sign someone a lot better as well with our midfield.
Yeah, but this is what I'm saying about one-on-one, mate. It's going to be one permanent, like one big name, because Sullivan's going to have to give a name. He's going to have to, right?
I think so. He's got 4 weeks left.
I think Douglas Luiz would be that. And I think that could be one way, because he can play as an 8 as well. Bear in mind, if you look back at his goal scoring record for Villa in his last season, I think he got a fair decent amount of goals playing from midfield. So
I'd love Douglas Luiz. Yeah,
and he's 27, so maybe from an age profile perspective, but like that as a loan to guarantee. But if you get Brownhill, we've all said we don't want Ward-Prowse starting. Souček scored really good goals for us. I think we're all content with him being the backup option to come on, and at certain points in games you will get good, key goals.
Right.
But you're just replacing both of them with someone else that is not good enough either. So it's pointless. You might as well just keep the other two if you're going to do that, really, to be honest.
The only thing is that, and Sullivan's going to have to deliver some sort of name though, right? So it's going to have to be someone who's going to sell shirts. Let's put it like that, right? Manic Diouf, good signing. Callum Wilson is like 50-50 with the fan base. Some people are going to let it go. Some people are fucking despise him, right? Do you know what I mean? And then you've got like Kyle Walker-Peters. Then you've got Mads Hermansen, who's a good signing for West Ham, yeah? Now we're going to see. Well, we're really going to see about this midfield and what we're all about. Do you know what I mean? Because this is the one area that we haven't addressed, which we should have addressed at the start. And what you said is right, Mark. The longer the window goes on, the lesser the good players are going to be there for the taking. Do you know what I'm saying?
Sometimes it goes the other way, though. And the only
it can do.
So like Douglas Luiz doesn't get snapped up, where they might have wanted a 40 million guaranteed fee. It might suddenly be, if you take him alone and give us this much, because they want him out because he's not gone to training, he's kicked off with them apparently and all that stuff. Now, is that a question about his character? I believe that to other people. But again, no loyalty. As long as he plays well in a West Ham shirt, who gives a fuck, basically?
Especially with a loan, there's no risk involved with the loan.
I think they want an obligation, though. That's the only thing with that deal. I think they want to know that someone's going to pay a fee for him at the end of that.
Maybe you could do an appearance-based one like you've done with Tadibo. Obviously, a lot more appearances.
Yeah, you'd have to do a lot more. You'd have to do a lot more because he'd have to be fit, wouldn't he, for a start, I guess, which is the thing. So, but yeah.
True. All right, and Mark, I'll let you go, mate. Take it easy.
Cheers,
mate. Good callers, I must admit. That's good. Right, before we go, what do you make of Dan Lawless's appearance on the overlap, mate?
Excellent. And I was reading some comments earlier from other fans saying this guy's deluded, he don't have a clue what he's talking about. How can we be the worst one club in the Premier League? United and Wolves take the cake and other clubs. I just think other fans are so fucking delusional and so caught up in their own club's mess. They don't really understand the shit situation we're in. We have got easy, by far, the worst stadium in the league. And that, for me, is enough to say the worst one club. Because I'd rather be in a Championship with Upton Park than in the Premier League with our stadium right now. It's as simple as that.
Yeah,
I thought he spoke really, really well when I watched his video earlier.
I know people are wind-up merchants on Twitter. I found that out today, but I thought Dan spoke brilliantly. If I'm being truthfully honest, I thought he was calm. Some people are emotionally involved, emotionally sort of triggered. I am one of them. I'll be no good on there because I'll be calling him all sorts of things. I thought Dan come across well, mentioned everything right. Obviously, people are saying about the Callum Wilson 95k a week appearance fee, which if that's the case, then that's our own.
I thought it was 60, up to 60. I thought.
Well, whatever it is, it's a fucking joke. But one thing he did say about the Callum Wilson thing, which I do make him right. And I'm going to ask you this before we round this up.
Hit me.
Has Potter been put in a position where he has to play Callum Wilson in certain games? Because if he's only on 6 bags a week, and
yeah, 100%. You know what? I never thought of that until he said that.
When he said it,
a brilliant point he made.
Yeah.
Did you think of that truthfully before?
No. I sort of looked at it and I thought, players you played deals are fucking very, very rare, especially in the Premier League. But when he said it, I thought, yeah, you're spot on there, mate. What do you make of that?
Yeah, bang on. I think it's a very good thought. As soon as you said it, I actually thought, fuck, he's made a really good point there. It's not often people catch me off guard, but he did. Yeah, I think he made a really good point with that, and I do agree. I don't think is right, and especially with someone that is as not much of a nice guy as Potter that wants everyone to be happy.
Yeah.
If we had like a Mourinho in charge, I wouldn't be scared because I know you just go fuck off. Or we had like a huge name manager, they wouldn't really give a fuck. But with Potter, it does give me that slight worry that he would be forced to play him. Maybe he would just go, you know what, Callum, you would play all the cup games.
Well, we're going to find out, aren't we? Obviously, I reckon he's going to be in the squad Saturday for Lille, and we're going to go from there.
Just get 2 minutes every fucking game. That's what we do. Let's get his appearance bonus.
before we go, it come out today. Mikel Antonio's officially gone. I see all the stuff there. What's your best moment of Mikel Antonio, mate? I'll tell you what mine is before I let you land.
Go on.
The best moment for me was at White Hart Lane, 2019, right, when we won the game 1-0 and he done the kangaroo fucking dance all around that gaff. And I was there that day. I was in the away end. I was smashed out my face. I fucking loved that.
What the Natovic cross?
The Natovic cross. Yeah, I was in there, mate. Game. Yeah, I got a mate of mine got me a ticket. I was there, and you know what I'm saying? It was poetry that day because we was the first team to beat them in their new ground. Do you know what I mean? So it was even better. So you know, and Mickey done it, and yeah, he's fucking great. What are you saying?
For me, it would probably have to be the equaliser in the last game, Upton Park. It'd have to be that one. When he scored the equaliser. I actually thought that first season, I loved him. He was my favourite player. I loved him, Antonio. He was such a different player then to what he was now. To what he is now, rather. If you look at clips, I was watching clips of him last year of like his season at Upton Park. He looked so much different. He was rapid. People forget how quick he was. He was fucking rapid. And it was great in the air back then as well. Obviously, he's not so good in the air now, but he could fucking leap. Obviously, probably injuries have not helped that. But yeah, for me, Upton Park, last game, Upton Park when he scored the equaliser. Special memories that day for me.
I'm going to ask you something, all right? If Callum Wilson gets the number 9 shirt, does that bother
you?
He has. Oh, it's official. He has then.
Yeah,
I didn't know. Well, fair enough.
It does bother me, yeah, massively.
Yeah, you know.
I'd give him like 57.
If I say anything more, I'm going to get fucking clips. I might as not say fuck all. Do you know what I mean? Right, I'm going to wrap that up there. Listen, I want to appreciate everyone who's come on tonight. All the boys who's come on, I dare say, that's what it's about. Do you know what I'm saying? You come on, you speak, we shut up, and if you want to abuse me and Mitch, you're more than welcome.
Where was you, Damien?
Damien was there somewhere, mate, in the fucking shadows. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, smash a like on the video, subscribe to E20 Zone TV, hit notification bell. I don't know when I'm going to be back because on Saturday I'm going to be going out for most of the day. And I know Lille's playing. I'm going to watch it on the move, so I might do an after thought out and about. So yeah, just keep it E20. That's what I'm going to say on that. Mads Hermansen's on his way. John Victor's going home, and we're going to sleep. Take it easy. Peace.